talked about, when you change your habits. I did the same thing. So the month of October, I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna be like nothing, like gonna be drinking nothing but water.
You know what? It's good to do that. From what they say, a lot of information I'm always going to say from what they say, because I haven't done enough research to say this is what it is and this is the research I've done. So I say from what I've heard, and a lot of times if it sounds good, I'm gonna rock with it. So from what I've heard, you're supposed to drink half your body weight in water a day. So I weigh about 270 and I drink about 135 ounces a day. And with that being said, like a lot of people don't understand, like pooping is important. If you're not pooping regular, something's wrong. If your body isn't pooping, like some people say once a day. I listened to a guy, somebody asked him how many times a day should he use the bathroom, should he poop? And what's up, mamas? The guy told him, how many times a day do you eat? He said, I eat about 3 times a day. You should be pooping 3 times a day. So realistically with your body, you should be pooping pretty much after you eat because your body is running regular. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? A lot of people don't understand that. I didn't understand that. I've learned it. So you got to eat to live. And it's not Elijah Muhammad. Is it Elijah Muhammad who has that book, How to Eat to Live?
You got me.
Yes, Elijah Muhammad, who has a book called How to Eat to Live. And like I said, changing your eating habits will keep you healthier.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so like it was called like the October Challenge. So it's like you drink nothing but water. So like no alcohol, no juice, no soda, none of that, just water. And also I've been also cutting out the amount of alcohol that I've been drinking also. Because like when quarantine started, like I normally drink like 2 to 3 times a week, and like just sitting at home, like doing absolutely nothing, that's not really good. Like I'm always feel like tired, always feel like lack energy. So it's been 2 weeks since like I had my last drop of alcohol.
Oh man, we need that's good change, man. Because people changing a habit, people don't give you as much credit as you deserve.
Yeah.
Because people don't understand, like not doing something is harder than just doing it. Like for you to be doing this X, Y, and Z for this long, and then you just stop. It's like that's. I'm proud of you. I'm on the same note. I've given up alcohol myself, and that's. I gave up alcohol because I've been speaking to my ancestors, and I told them I want something, and people don't understand when you want something, you got to sacrifice something else. Mm-hmm. And they told me if I want from what I feel, if they told me if I want what I want, I got to sacrifice alcohol. So I sacrificed alcohol, and I had a big challenge last night. I actually went to a bar with my homies, and my homies are luscious. They were drinking like crazy. All I had was a cup of cranberry juice. I was happy. I was proud. I was bored, but I was proud. I gotta get my energy back. But speaking to being tired, from what is said, alcohol kills your testosterone. And that's why you're tired, because your testosterone levels will be lowered because you're drinking alcohol. You got to start eating stuff that's going to start boosting your testosterone, like stuff like zinc. What else? Almonds. Almonds are good.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's either almonds or cashews. Don't get me the lying, but you got to keep your testosterone up, especially down you're getting older. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be no old fuddy-duddy.
Yeah.
I don't know if they still use that word. I don't know if it's a cool thing to say, fuddy-duddy.
Yeah, because last time I also went to the doctors, they keep saying my vitamin B count is like low. So I'm getting like B12 injections, but I also need to start eating like more like vitamin B12 food.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? You know what I'm saying? And like I said, like you are what you eat. And that's an old saying.
Yeah.
And now you can speak to it more. That you want to work over there? I'm sorry, we have some special guests that just came in the building. Let me set them up real quick. Like I said, I was doing my horoscope, and October is a lucky month for me, one of my luckiest months. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, September was horrible. You know what I'm saying? So I need some luck. But what I felt, me and Shay, we decided that we wanted the month of October, we wanted to show Uptown Radio, WJYN 98.5 appreciation for just letting us be on the radio every Thursday, 7 to 9, and not getting us out of here because we don't have a lot of cussing infractions, but we want to show them our love. So the best way to do that is to invite other radio shows that are on the same platform as us into our platform. So if we have fans, they can sponsor some of our fans by listening to find out what they're about. You know, trying to find out what their core subjects are and what do they talk about. Because you know, like you might like our show, but you might also like theirs. And now you have a chance to blend the two together and find out if you like theirs. So what time is it? 7:15?
Yeah, just about.
So we right on time then. We got some special guests in the building.
No.
We got officially 2 of the members, 2 out of the 3. We got about 65% of y'all here? 65%
Yeah, I would say that.
of the Tall Talk Show, which is we got my man Lateef.
Yo.
And we got Lady O in the building.
Yes.
We have you guys in the building for the first time. This is the first crossover. I feel like Marvel and DC has crossed over to be some villain that we couldn't do by ourselves.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm so appreciative of you guys being here today. And once again, Shay definitely sends her love, even though she's in LA.
Oh,
I mean, she's in Vegas.
What is she doing?
Yeah, I called her on the way up here, and I was like, "Yo, blah." She was like, "Ah, blah 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 blah." I was like, "You not on the radio, yo?" Tonight?
Yeah, she's in Vegas.
All right.
I would tell you, but you know what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Unless it's an STD, then it comes back. And it gets right on the plane with you and your carry-on luggage. So, no, once again, welcome to the show, you guys.
Thank you.
And I'm going to tell y'all why I picked y'all first, right?
Oh.
Okay.
I picked y'all first because of you, right? And,
Well,
I appreciate you so much. If y'all, your birthday was a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Your birthday was a couple months ago.
Yeah.
For your birthday, you had a party at your parents' house.
Yeah.
And out somewhere. I'm not going to say where.
Yeah.
You had a birthday party at your parents' house, right?
Yeah.
And you invited me and Shay.
Yeah.
And that right there, other than all the conversations that we had, that puts you above because. Shout out to because that was the winning thing, that you invited us into your home. You know what I'm saying? And not too many people would do that. We had a great time. We had a great conversation.
It was a vibe. It was definitely a vibe. It was just enough people. Even though I wanted to invite more people, it was just enough people, and it was the right combination of people.
Right
also.
combination. It was like getting the Avengers together.
But you know what? I think the last time we had chilled before that, we were out somewhere, and I was like, I'm gonna invite them to my birthday party.
Yeah.
Now I will say, y'all are funny, so I was like, oh, that'll add some spice to it.
Yeah.
But for some reason, something was like, invite them to your party.
Yeah.
So I just went with my instinct and said, all right, like the instinct came before the idea of y'all being comedians and being, adding some spice to the party, in all honesty.
Yeah.
And through that, when them conversations start happening, I was like, yes, because you trust your instinct, and then it actually comes through.
Yeah.
You're like, yo, okay, I'm glad I did that. I'm glad I did that. You know what I'm saying? Because even if you don't remember all the words, you remember the vibe that was there. And knowing that that's possible and that's real, I felt like did a lot for everybody that was there. You know what I mean?
We had a conversation before when the quarantine popped off, and we were trying to do the Zoom thing.
Yeah.
And one of our shows just got totally crushed by the Zoom thing. We couldn't hear Shay. We just pretty much canceled the show.
Right.
And the show was canceled, but me and him stayed talking for like an hour and a half.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Hour and a half. We just chopped it up. And it was weird because, like I said, we could have taken that and made that a show.
Right.
And it was so organic that, like I said, when you invited us to the party and we got to see your peoples, get to meet your peoples and see where you come from.
That's what it was too. Now that you said that, that's what it was. That conversation we had that night.
Yeah.
I was like, he's a real dude.
Yeah, definitely. I appreciate
He's a real
that.
dude. And I can see like, okay, you know what I mean? He would be welcome.
Yeah.
And you were.
Yeah,
it
was so much love to see. Shout out to your parents, man.
It's Pop's birthday, matter of fact.
Oh man, what does he drink?
Yaks. It's a yak household, cognacs.
All right, I'm going to cash at you enough for a bottle of Henny.
All right, I told him I was going to shout him a happy birthday, Pop.
Yeah.
If you heard
happy
that,
birthday, Pop.
You about to get a bottle.
Happy birthday. Yo, and like I said, you gotta understand. To me, his parents are the greatest parents I've seen in a while, and I'm putting them over TV show parents, like the Huxtables and Philip and Claire Banks, all of them,
Right.
because they embody what I envisioned to be a black couple.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like they're home. You was there,
I was there.
and I'm setting the mood for I'm talking to Lady Yo like she wasn't there, but I'm not doing that. I'm setting the mood for the people who weren't
Right.
there. Right? The home was made by his mom, and you can see that's her input. You know what I'm saying? It's so artistic in there, and like when you
inspiring.
Inspiring.
Everywhere you look,
Mm-hmm.
it's like you are beautiful,
Mhm.
you're powerful, you can do it.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
I can.
Yes, especially in the bathroom, because I had to prove, and I was like, I can't do it, and I looked at the crystal, I was like, I got it. But it's such a beautiful vibe. You know what I'm saying? It's a home. And so many people come from a house, and they don't know what it is to come from a home.
It's true.
You know what I'm saying? To come from that love.
Yeah.
Everybody goes through things. You know what I'm saying? Every couple goes through things, and I'm pretty sure your parents went through things. But at the end of the day, you can see that connection that they have that's beyond the dumb stuff that they may go through.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And that's just dope to see, because that lets you know that black love exists.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But like when your
It's
pop,
this.
I talked to your pop, he was like, yo, she said she want to do something, I just let it go. I don't even get in no way. I put my hands, I pay the bills, and she makes it a home. And that's what I always felt. And once again, I never want people to feel like it's sexist, right? Because I've been called sexist, misogynist, and it's weird.
I've been called that too. But yeah, people like, oh, your parents. I was like, well, why are you offended by the things I'm saying then?
Because you see my parents.
My mom ain't got no problem with that. My dad ain't got no problem with that. But yeah.
I always feel that if you're upset that you're a woman and you're not saying suppose, you're not doing what a man is doing, you got to kind of blame God. You got to kind of blame God. Like I didn't make it. When it came to you having babies, it wasn't me. You know what I'm saying? When it came to you having that motherly instinct, it wasn't me. Now a man can adopt that, but that's more nature versus nurture. We're talking about nature, nurture. Right?
Yeah.
I can be nurtured to be more feminine. You know what I'm saying? Or be effeminate. But nature-wise, I'm masculine. You get what I'm saying? That's what I should be. Right? And it's not a play. I think a lot of times we get caught up because it's quote unquote a man's world, right?
Take your time, bro. Take
your time. Because I don't want to offend anybody, but the masculine me is going to say it. The I don't want to offend anybody, but I'm going to say what I got to say. And I think I said like it's a man's world, but we forget that one part of the song. It wouldn't be nothing without a woman.
True.
You get what I'm saying? Like when you hear it's a man's world, that's all people get caught up on.
Right.
But you don't hear when he says it would be nothing without the woman, especially the black woman.
It's funny that you say that, because the role of the black woman is not only important in the household, but also in social movements.
Yes.
Because if you look at the Haitian Revolution particularly, you will see that the black woman had a prominent role. She was there. She was kind of like the backbone of the whole movement. Mm-hmm. She was the one that raised the boys, right, to become warriors.
Yes. And
she was the one that organized. Yes, like Bookman, you look at that historical figure, and people say, oh yeah, he's the one that created the ceremony that happened in the swamps in Haiti, where the slaves gathered in order to revolt against their master. Yes, he's the one that was the head of the ceremony, but do you know who actually talked to the people, who gathered the people, who inspired the people? It was the woman.
Yeah.
So this is why you will see that there's like a mass propaganda, right, to kind of like take away the power of the black woman.
Yes.
In my opinion, like when you look at us like these days, it's because once the black woman like reaches her power and understand, that's it. Because every movement needs strong black women.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we live in a patriarchal world, but when you look at ancient religions, it's all matriarchal.
Yeah.
And a society that's based on where the woman has the power, you will see that violence it's very low.
Yes.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
We gotta rub the skin on that because we be chilling.
But as like the only like women in this discussion right now, I have to say, like, growing up, I used to also think that, yeah, like, I'm a woman, like, I don't want to stay home and like take care of the kids and cook and clean, like, no. But as I gotten older, I start to see the value of being at home, raising the kids, and taking pride in that. Because if you look at like our culture right now, there is a mass propaganda to devalue
the woman.
Not only not the woman, but like the domestic values that of being a woman, right? Of just deciding, I'm not gonna work.
Be independent. You don't need nobody. Dude.
You don't need no man.
You shouldn't be having to help nobody.
And here's the thing: when you think about it, like, especially with feminism, white woman was screaming to work, but the black woman was always working, right?
Yeah.
We were the ones that were nannying your child, that were breastfeeding your child. We were always working. So the idea of us just like not working, that like, oh, he just treats me as if like I just stay at home. Well, at least you have the privilege of staying at home, because we never did.
Yeah.
So that's why a part of me is kind of disconnected from the feminist movement right now. But I digress.
I think I just want to cut in real quick. I think I figured it out.
What's that?
I think white women wanted to work so hard because they wasn't doing nothing.
Right.
They had nothing to do. They were feeding their children. They were breastfeeding their children. They weren't doing nothing.
When you don't have anything to do, then it gives you the ability to what?
Yes.
To want more.
To want more.
So the black women never had that. We didn't have time to want more. We had to take care of the kids.
Feminism over. We figured it out. We broke the code. Stuff. We have broke the code. It was all because y'all didn't do anything. So that's why y'all wanted to do something. That's the code broken. Code is broken.
I figured that out during COVID.
But that makes sense, because what else could they do but get dressed nice and
that's it?
Present themselves.
Right?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, right.
They didn't put the parties together. They didn't put the stuff up. They didn't. They didn't get the.
Oh, that's the submissiveness thing too.
Right.
Yeah.
Because 9 out of 10, black women, that foot's coming down at some point.
Yeah.
But the myth is, the other girls, they don't be giving you no problem.
Yeah.
You do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And then maybe that's a mental hand-me-down note, you know what I'm saying? Like
that is
from that time, perhaps so. Perhaps.
What's it called? That's one of their issues from slavery.
I honestly think that at this point, like, the white men are brilliant in that way.
Mm-hmm.
That they, in order to uphold the white supremacy, right? And what they did is like they coddled the white female, right? They made them almost seem like a gem, protect them, so that they would never, ever, ever say like, wow, maybe having a slave is atrocious. Yeah. Because all of their desires, they're protected, right? Mm-hmm. So why would they ever think that maybe I'm treating these people as second-class citizens, when in reality they're also being treated as second-class citizens? Yeah. It's like the best, like Stockholm syndrome.
And there you go. And that's where we get into. Like, they all gotta ask questions. How did Tall Talk come about? Because we can get caught up in this.
Right.
Oh, this is
a whole show. But we gotta interview you guys. How did Tall Talk come about?
Well, okay, this goes back to 2017.
Okay.
So let me try to do the fast forward, high speed film version of the story. Rewind it back. I'm riding home from working here at this radio station. I'm stuck in traffic. Like, oh, what's this Joe? Da 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 da. It's 98.5 FM, WJYN, Uptown Radio. Oh, dudes on here talking about paradiddles with the drums, and they talking about Black history and da da da. Oh, this is dope. Blah blah blah. So I'm talking to Big Cuz, because that's my man. So we get down on the music stuff and all that. You know what I mean? Whatever. And he manifested. He was doing a radio show, and it was on the book. And I'm like, bro, you can't call the radio show because you ain't on the radio.
Yeah.
I had to say that part slow. But this is how life works, right? So he's like, no, it's going to be a radio show. So a couple months down the line, he's getting people's coming through, like legit people that's doing stuff, coming through to the crib.
I'm sorry.
Coming through and just doing their thing or whatever. Mm-hmm. They're doing the interviews and stuff. So, you know what I mean, between, all our contacts and stuff, and then it's like, yo, it's the station. They said they're looking for volunteers. I don't got time. I was doing my music thing, and I'm working, dad life, all that. So I was like, I don't have time, but, we can get down or whatever you want to do. You know what I mean? I'm doing. So he comes up here. He's taking all the classes. He's up here. Shout out to Bob Davis, was teaching everybody at that time. You know what I'm saying? He rocks with Chuck D and them out of New York.
Mm-hmm.
So Big Cuz starts digging in. Most slept on radio show. We start doing a radio show. It's me and Cuz in here losing our minds trying to figure stuff out, but it's making it smooth. You know what I'm saying? And then time goes on, and then Cuz wanted to do a Friday night joint, and I was like, all right, well, I'll keep this joint. And then the date night joint came along. You know what I'm saying, on him. And I was cool with that, you know what I'm saying? Like, so he's doing his thing, and I was doing the talk. We just kind of like branched out, you know what I'm saying? And Irv had came back up. Shout out to Irv. Irv's at rehearsal right now. Irv plays
Shout out to you, Irv.
7,000 instruments.
Yeah.
And he sings and he raps. Shout out to Irv the villain.
He's the I'm trying to think of the word I'm looking for. He's the enigma in Tall Talk because he's so short. It's like he's like, I want to show called Tall Talk. Like, why? Like,
oh, but the name, all right, the name comes from my kitchen table. That's where the name comes from, because I have a kitchen table and my crib is like the Zen place that my friends would like to come to. Like, you know, I live by myself. A lot of my friends call me like, yo, I need to come to the tall table because I don't got a big kitchen, so I got one of them bar tables.
I got you.
In there, you know, with the stools around.
Yeah.
So people are like, yo, I just want to come to the tall table. I know people ain't just popping up at your crib, whatever. I was like, yeah, come through. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like Martin, I'll kick you out if I don't want to.
Yeah, once it's time to go, yeah.
Like, you know, love or hate or whatever, like, you got to get out.
Yeah,
you know
it's that
I mean?
time, my guy.
So people like, all right, come over to the tall table. Then before the radio thing happened, Cuz was like, he was having 3 shows out the crib on Facebook. He had a game show that was interactive.
Oh, that's dope.
And people would win prizes. Like, yeah. It was a whole lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, you doing your thing. It's Friday. We just having beers at the tall table. Because he would vent. Everybody vents at the tall table. I'd be like, can you meet me at the tall table? I need to vent. I need somebody to vent too. So he's like, yo, we need to do it's a tall table talk. And I was like, with Teeth on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
With tall cans. Because we was drinking tall cans. And then we started doing it on Facebook. Like, therefore it was established at the tall table. We doing tall table talk. That was wild, because we come with the crazy news stories, and I would just talk about what I was mad about that week. You know what I'm saying? That was the whole premise of the show. And then the radio thing came along in the meantime, so it was like, all right, Most Slept On was the brand Cuz was building. That was already in motion. So I was like, all right, we're doing the Most Slept On radio show. We got Tall Table Talk. Tall Table Talk, we get wild, we can curse and all that, because it's Facebook. Then we groomed up for Thursday. Because that was our original night, Thursday. The slot now, this is our original slot.
Oh, yeah, the change. So we living in the shadows of Tall Talk. The original Tall Talk. That's good bread.
But, that's really how that all came about. And now we're here, you know, I got a lot of love for the Uptown Entertainment Development Corporation, the Uptown Theater itself. And the more I saw it, I was like, I could do that. I can do that. I can handle that. I can handle that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then Irv was rocking with me. Irv was rocking with us before Cuz started doing the Most Requested show on Fridays. He moved back up from Florida. And I was like, yo, I got this radio show. Because when I met Irv, I needed a drummer. No, I needed a keyboard player. And I needed a drum set for an event because people forgot their stuff.
Yeah.
This boy came through and brought the drum set and played the keys. And I was like, yo, where do you come from? You have equipment and you play and you didn't rehearse and you didn't mess up?
Yeah.
What's up with you? So we was just cool from there. You know what I mean? Just like music business wise. And then I got a suggestion. I was like, yo, I need a woman on the show.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I was like, I don't like, it's like,
you don't want all that masculine energy. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Because Cuz is doing this thing over there. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, all right, I'm not going to ask Cuz to jump back to the, you know what I mean? I was like, I need some female energy. And shout out to my homegirl, Omni MC. She was like, why don't you get Lady O?
I thought it was Jerry.
Yeah, that's
Oh. I'm sorry. Oops.
Okay.
We did an album together. It's called Davida. You can find it on all platforms like everybody else's stuff. Ours is better. It's called Davida, DA space VIDA. But yeah, she was like, why don't you get Lady O?
Yeah.
And I was like, why don't I get Lady? Why didn't I think of that before? And she was down. She was like ready for it. She was like, I was just thinking about this. I was praying about this. Blah, blah, blah. And
Just
Now
a
we're
quick
here.
little, background about me. So I went to a school called Elizabethtown College, out in in the middle of PA,
Okay.
between Harrisburg and Lancaster. And I kid you not, it is a whole different country out there. It is rural PA. And at the time, I was studying communications with a double major in Japanese. I thought that I was gonna, I don't know, run to Japan.
You start your own radio show in Japan.
Black radio host in Japan, because I noticed that they have a very acute fascination for black people there.
Everybody should.
I could be famous, but of course everything crumbled and burned, like some outrageous things, like ideas that you have when you're young and in life. And at the time, I remember my professor telling me, "You will never make it as a mainstream news anchor because of my accent."
Yeah.
And I wish I could give a big middle finger up to his.
No, give him a shout out. Thank you.
I mean,
because you need that push, that negative energy. Biggie teacher said he wouldn't amount to nothing either.
And then so I my dream at the time was to be a news anchor. And when he said that, I was like, okay, well then let me switch over to radio. And then I remember that I did my first radio show. And it was an amazing experience. Like hearing my voice, I said, you know what? I think this is what I'm supposed to do. So coming across Teeth, it literally was insane because I felt like I just did a whole 360 back to what I was meant to do. Yeah. So
I like to tell people there's a movie called Men Who Stare at Ghosts. Right?
I've seen that movie. That's with the FBI, the CIA
experiments.
Yes. With
so for those who don't know,
with LSD.
So those who don't know, the Army was using LSD, and they had a warfare where they would use psychics, right? And it was a group of people that they had a team of people, right? And they were trying to become psychic so they could kill you by thinking about it. They wanted to tap into the mind to kill you by thinking about it. In the movie, he talks about your purpose. Everybody has a purpose, right? Yeah. Your life, the universe wants you to go to your purpose, right?
Absolutely.
So with that being said, Mahatma Gandhi was supposed to be a revolutionary, right? Amelia Earhart was supposed to fly planes. If she would have tried to be a race car driver, she would have had it'd have been hard for her to do that because her purpose was to fly a plane, right? Yeah. So when you find out what your purpose is and you start moving towards it, life pushes you that way. So if you're going against your purpose, it's like swimming against the current.
Right.
But once you find what your purpose is,
you start riding the current.
You can just sit back and let the current take you. And that's what that sounds. And also, once again, for all the people who are not melanated, when we want something, all you got to do is tell the universe.
Well, I just want to remind
people. Got the extra battery charge, you know what I mean?
I just want to remind people that we truly are. And I think, I cannot remember the person who said this. It was in one of, oh gosh.
I was going to say me.
I can't remember who said this. But he said he likes to think of, and he was a rapper, and shame on me. But
it's okay.
He said that he likes to envision the human race as little G's. Because we live in a dual reality, right? We have things that we can touch. We have the earth, we have, the trees, tangible things. And then we have other things that exist, but that we can't touch. Like the idea of America. We can't actually touch America, right? Gotcha. We can't actually touch the idea of France. We can't actually touch the idea of being an American Constitution. All of these are ideas that are ingrained.
Concepts.
These are
in the mind.
An imaginary reality, right? So we live in two realities. So we have to understand being human is beautiful because whatever we think in our mind, we can create it. We manifest it. We connect with each other through these imaginary realities. And this is why we are more profound than the average animal, because we are able to create things that exist only in our mind and then make it happen in reality. Correct. I don't know. That's like a modern day sorcerer, right? It's not what sorcery is about.
So you got multiple books. You got the Kabbalion. That's a hard read if you get the chance to check that out. But the Kabbalion is where they say religion gets there. As a man thinketh, so he beeth.
Yeah.
That's the Kabbalion. You know what I'm saying? That's what they say in the Kabbalion. Your thoughts make things happen. Also, we're connected, and I'm speaking about melanated people because I love melanated people. I love us more than anybody else. If you think that's racist, that's up to you.
It's not racist. I mean,
It's
the
love.
pain that we
It's
went
love.
through.
It's love. You can't have racism and love. You know what I'm saying? That they're oxymorons a little bit. But when we're connected to the universe the way we are, all you got to do is speak it. Because the universe wants you to get what you want.
There's a very vital part to that, though, and something that I learned and sometimes I forget and I'm reminded of, and that we have to understand the language we're using.
Yes.
And we have to understand what we're asking for.
Yes, specific.
Because if you're asking for something, you might have to do a lot of things you don't want to do to have that.
Yep.
And if you keep saying it, manifesting it, whether you think it's real or not, sometimes it's going to happen.
Yeah.
You keep saying in negativity, you're going to have that cloud. If you keep in the positivity, you're going to get something. But you might think all these bad things are happening. They're not bad things.
Yeah,
you ask for something else.
So
I just want to say that quote that I got, that we're all little G's, is from Professor Griff, Public Enemy.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, yeah.
Shout out.
So shout out, yeah.
Shout out,
Professor Griff. That's
yes,
yo, he ain't no joke.
So to speak to that,
yes,
definitely, because I was going to get back to that. When he say G's, he means guys, right?
yes, but little G's, because we're not truly God, right?
No.
Right.
What I'm saying is, even Jesus said it. Jesus said, "Oh, ye are gods."
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Because
So,
we have a little piece of him
we have a
within
piece
us.
because God is in everything.
Because we can, like a dog.
Mhm.
If you try to take a cat, right, and rip it away from its natural instinct, right, you
Mhm.
try to teach it, like, I don't know, like love,
Put it on a leash,
like put it on a leash and take it outside of its natural
habitat.
it's not gonna survive. Right? You can't teach a monkey. You can't go to a monkey and say, all right, if you give me this banana right now, you can have all of the spoils in heaven.
Yeah.
Monkey's gonna be like,
I got the banana now.
I'm gonna eat it now.
Yeah.
Only with human beings do we come with a blank slate,
Mhm.
right? And you can teach them how to be conservative. You can teach them to
Love,
be love, hate, anything. So because of that, I would say that privilege, that's why we're closer to the Creator.
Mhm.
And I think that a lot of people are disconnected from this truth, right? We forget of this sorcery, this innate power that we have.
Yeah.
Because it's not just one of us. Like once we can get enough people to believe the same things that we believe, that's
power.
That's power, right?
Power.
That's why cults come into existence, right?
From what they said, what's it called? I was listening to some, and a guy was talking about humming. That's vibrations.
Yeah.
We're all vibrating. Everything vibrating. Nothing is at rest. So when you learn how to tap into that, you can hum, and that's how they built the pyramids.
We're already tapped into it. That's what I'm saying. Like we have these things. Like if somebody's on your block and somebody yells and they're mad,
right?
Whether you know that person or not, you're gonna feel that
energy.
You can feel that down the block. Like yo, they mad.
Yeah, somebody pissed.
Somebody mad. What? It's that tone. Just like you saying.
Yeah.
It's funny because with what's prominent from the Haitian Revolution is that they were able to tap into certain frequencies and drum vibrations, right? They would hear it and they would know, oh, that's going on right there. So we're kind of like disconnected right now because we rely so much on technology that we forgot that there are hidden vibrations, like frequencies that we hear that will call us into action.
That's why I don't like a lot of trap music.
Because that changes your vibration.
There are, and you remember that book, Behold the Pale Horse?
I haven't. No, I'm gonna check it out.
It's an old book. It came out back in the '80s, and the bull is not with us no more, mysteriously.
Yeah.
Whatever. But shout out to I remember the store Pearl of Africa. It was on South Street.
Okay.
They did the incense and the books and all that stuff. They're not there anymore. They had two of them.
Wow.
But I always wanted to buy that book. But every time I went there, I really have money. I was just shopping, window shopping, or whatever. But even in that book, they were talking about how. That music would be used to control people in ways, and certain tones. We're also like kind of a machine. We have systems running within us. Your nervous system, certain tones are gonna make you putting you in a certain mood. If you're listening to gangster music on your way to work,
you're gonna be gangster.
You're gonna argue with your supervisor by the time you get to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's dope.
If you go to work listening to jazz, you're like, hey man, good morning.
word.
And I'm going to start listening to jazz. I haven't, but they used to use tones to heal you.
Right.
They would use the
Sound
tones
healing.
to
If
sound
you're
healing.
going through something, if you're
Because
having a rough day, put on some John
have to think.
Coltrane, and the way
And
that
that's
man
what I'm
blew that
starting
saxophone.
We are all made of atoms, right?
Mm-hmm.
And atoms
Vibrate
react
constantly.
to certain vibrations.
Mhm.
So it's funny because as we become more like more like obsessed with technology, we start to see the truth and these old fable tales, right? And what for my journey as an artist, I realized that my voice hits a certain frequency that most voices don't.
Gotcha.
Usually people when they speak, they don't speak in this tone.
Yeah, your words
I
resonate.
speak
They
from-
literally resonate in the true scientific
And-
sense of the word. Like,
And beautiful accent too.
Right. Oh, thank you. But my experiment right now is I've noticed that when I speak, it seems like I can put people in a sort of trance.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can tap into that, what power does that hold? Because I believe that the reason that the movements are failing right now, right, is because there is no spiritual aspect to connect us. We all know what's bad, what's good.
because people
right?
full of,
Yes.
and people
But
be
you need to
moving
believe
movements
in
so
a
they can
higher
start
thing.
nonprofits and collect money and
Money.
not pay the
There's too
people
many
that been helping them out.
distractions.
A lot of people be doing that. I won't get too deep into that. I'm talking right now. I mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead, take it away.
But there's a lot of, and I'm not pointing nobody out individually. If you want to talk about it, you can hit me up, RealT03 on Instagram. We can have it out. But I know that I've learned from people that were heavily involved in some movements that
Right.
people just in it when the cameras are out.
Yeah.
And when the
Right.
cameras are off, they're back at their hotel, they're not
Mhm.
out there all
Sure.
night. But then people, when
Yeah.
this stuff is really popping
That's
off.
a small
So
percentage.
when you say that the spirituality isn't there,
It is not there. That's why there's no
it's
because
the
because
people
for
like
me
that.
it's
Yeah.
like when for what hurt me with the civil rights movement and why the Haitian revolution was able to last for so long is because when you realize that your ties to this planet is just physical, right? That there is something more beyond this,
Yeah.
right? That we are just fighting for comfortability right here and now, but when we die, our souls will be saved.
Mm-hmm.
Then you don't fear death, right? We don't need a leader like Malcolm X or Martin Luther King to make the movement last.
Listen,
but anyway,
listen. You
sorry.
guys are listening to the LOL show at WJYN 98.5 Uptown Radio. Once again, there's multiple ways that you can hear us. You can hear us at YouTube at WJYN 98.5. You can listen to us at UptownRadioPhilly.org. You can listen to us at 98.5 FM. And you can tell Alexa, which is technology, that turn to Uptown Radio. All right. And once again, we got Teeth, Lady O in the building, and they're 2/3 of Tall Talk. The shortest member is not here. He's here in spirit.
Irv was, he just texted me saying he's gonna call.
Oh, that's cool. We can. Because Shay was supposed to call and she ain't calling. So
I just want to remind people here at Uptown Radio, we are building a community
yes,
while bridging generations.
yes,
right?
yes. It takes the wisdom of the elders
Yes.
and the something of the youth. It's the
the
energy of the youth.
charisma.
I think it's the energy. Well,
The-
John Legend
the
said
energy,
it.
right?
Yeah, John
the
Legend said it.
charisma, the energy, the fear of. It's like with the youth, we've been broken down so much that there is no fear with us, right?
Mhm.
So it makes us galvanized to do whatever it takes
Yes.
to reach that part that I don't know. Yeah.
So
So
we could listen. We could talk about this all night, and we will.
We can talk about encrusted pineal gland.
let me not go down.
All that soda. Stop drinking soda.
Lady Yo,
No good.
what is your background? I'm talking about your ethnic background because you have an accent.
Yes.
Yes. And
Well, I am 100% Haitian. Both my
break
parents.
that down. Break
were
that down.
born-
I have no idea what you're talking about.
So I am
It's
Haitian.
lovely, but
I'm Haitian American.
there you go.
Both my parents were born and raised in Haiti. Oh,
That's not a phone
and I
call.
think our fellow Haitian is probably calling it.
Yeah.
Yo,
Hey,
you're
what's going on? LOL show. Who is this?
Ça passe?
Oh my goodness.
Hey.
What's up, Irv? But you got to understand, Irv, we've been talking about spirit all night, so you being here in spirit is definitely fine. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate you for calling in. You know what I'm saying? How you been, Irv? All right. We're good, Irv. We talked to Teeth and Lady O, and they told us a little bit about their background. Let everybody know who's Irv. Who's Irv the villain? Okay. Yeah. So Irv, what I was telling somebody, I was checking out my Chinese zodiac. I'm the year of the goat. Year of the goat. So you already know I'm great. I'm destined for great things. And it told me my lucky month was October. So me and Shay were talking, and we are so appreciative of Uptown Radio for allowing us the ability to come on every Thursday between 7 and 9, rock out, speak how we feel, and do our thing. So we wanted to show Uptown Radio appreciation back. And so the best way we thought of was to invite our crewmates.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Invite our family to participate. Vision of Two. So this is a Marvel DC crossover. I'm Marvel though, so I don't want to say y'all guys are DC, but
I mean, I'll take the DC.
Okay, cool.
I mean,
all right.
Isn't it DC? There's a prominent like black population there. I mean, I'm cool with that.
Who's the prominent black?
I said in Washington DC. The same?
No. I'm talking about.
I know, but I'm saying that like you're saying DC. Okay.
I'm in DC the comic books.
I know, but I was saying.
Okay, cool. No. Okay, yeah, Chocolate City. Chocolate City. But you know, we want people to understand we are a family. You know what I'm saying? And if we got something, y'all got something. And I definitely, like I said, I've talked to all of you guys personally on the side and stuff like that. And you guys, when we don't have interviews. We have conversations with people we like. You get what I'm saying? That's all we want to do. We want to talk to people that we admire, people that we find interesting, stuff of that nature. So like I said, you guys were number one on our list. And I told Teef that it's because he invited me to his people's crib for his birthday that time. That took y'all over the top. You know what I'm saying? Because it was between you and Big Cuz. But when Teef did that, I was like, yeah, you know, Cuz is cool and all, but he's number two. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Big Cuz.
I know, but tell our listeners what you bring to Tall Talk, Irv. Because I know you got a special segment on Tall Talk. Yeah. Well, that's dope.
The comedic relief.
Yeah.
Also, he's always like creating new barbecue sauce. Is it barbecue sauce that we always? Yes.
Yeah. I think a squirrel pissed on me yesterday. Because I was under a tree and I got wet and it wasn't no water. Like, you know, it wasn't no rain. It wasn't no rain. So me and you both got beef then. Have you ever seen Rick and Morty?
I love
that episode with the squirrels. Yes, that's what they do.
Little boy, we'll give you wishes if you can hear us.
If you can hear us, we got a 1087 on Doolittle. You're like, hold on, wait. He's a squirrel. You look at that squirrel though. He can hear us. Look.
Yo, Irv, where you at right now, dog? You said I hear music in the background. Nice.
Okay. Mm.
Word. Tell Dean and Illadel I said what up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of dope because like I've learned that everything has an offshoot community, right? Like when you think of comedy, comedy has an offshoot community where these guys get together, they talk to each other, they do stuff, they have writing sessions, and musicians have an offshoot community where they probably have like you said, right now y'all jam together, stuff like that. That's kind of dope to me.
So I have a question. Don't you think that also our senators and our politicians have an offset community?
Yes, they all work together.
So yeah.
Yeah, there is.
Oh, so we're in trouble. Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that sometimes people forget that. There's no such thing as like being bipartisan.
I'm still asking people why I should vote.
I think Trump and Biden shared a beer with 2 straws after the debate was over. That's what I think. I think that's how cool they really are.
They were just having a tiff. That's all it was. It's like when you argue with your friends sometimes. Like,
yo, when the ball out of nowhere was like, I brought back football.
Yeah.
I was done, yo. I was cracking up. I've been thinking about that for the last couple
a clown, though. Like,
yo, he called him a clown. He told him to shut up.
You did yourself a favor.
Yeah, definitely.
You didn't miss anything.
Oh, it was funny. Mm-hmm. It was funny. WWF status.
Yeah, definitely.
That debate is. Yeah, go ahead. You're kidding.
No,
Can you leave us with an Earth thought of the day?
There you go.
Please. Yes.
Yeah, man.
Always do.
Hey.
Well, that'd be a good thing, right?
Hey. Right. Irv, I have to say, it's so funny that you said that quote, bad things happen in Philly, because I'm actually hosting an open mic event next Tuesday. Yes, at Independence Hall, right, on 5th and Market. And it's called Bad Things Happen in Philly. It's an open mic dance party that I'm organizing. It's next Tuesday. From the tentative time is from 6 to 9, right? And it is an open mic / dance party. I just want all the artists in Philly who has been quarantined, who's itching, right, to express their art, right, who also is feeling a little bit unease and a little bit scared because of the political turmoil that's going on, is to come out and come express yourself with Lady O. And the event is called Bad Things Happen in Philly. Oh, yes, because, thank you. So it's hilarious. You see, synchronicity. How in the world? I like that. Yes. Right. Ooh.
Oh, yeah, Haitians. Haitians in the back. And I'm not.
Mm-mm.
You already know.
Mm.
Yeah, real talk. Definitely, yo. You be safe out there, Irv.
All right, good brother.
One.
All right, you too, man.
Bye-bye.
Like I was saying, when it comes to the Haitian thing, I'm not religious. I'm not going to say I'm spiritual either. You know what I'm saying? I'm
We
just.
have to work on that, brother.
No, it's not that. It's not that. Because, you know,
I ain't
sometimes.
keeping it 100.
No, it's not that. Some people say I'm spiritual and they don't really know what it means. I'm saying if I had to choose a religion, if somebody put a gun in my hand and said, you have to be a religion, I will be the religion of the Haitians when they fought for their freedom. Whatever they were,
Right.
whatever they were, that's what I would be.
But do you know why it was so strong that spirituality was that connected the Haitians? Was because you have to remember in Haiti, it was the most atrocious like place for a slave to live. Their life expectancy was only 3-6 years. Okay.
Yeah.
So there was a high turnover.
Yeah.
So they were able to keep the tradition.
Yeah.
So that's why.
Dope. I didn't
So
know that.
the only reason that they were able to rise against the oppressors
Because they were still connected.
was because their spirituality, the deep African traditions were still there. So they would just go away whenever the oppressors weren't looking, and they would just tap back to their old religion and use that to increase their connectivity with one another. So that's why the Haitian religion is so strong.
I think a lot of people don't, from what I've been hearing, I'm not sure, I gotta do some research on it. The day they say slavery started isn't true.
No, you're right.
It's a 55-year gap.
66.
Okay.
That's
a good number.
You know that the $66,000, no, what is it? The $67,000 question?
Yeah. Something like, I know what you're talking about.
I remember, but I don't remember.
It's like,
like
the $66,000 question.
Yeah.
Like, that's like, you would hear that a lot when people don't know
Gotcha.
like what the reasoning is.
Mm-hmm.
It takes 66 years in order to rip away a person's tradition, humanity,
generation. By the time
it takes a generation of people. So
like
the $66,000
father, son, grandson.
Yes.
By the time it gets to the grandson, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I mean? If you destroy the grandfather, destroy the father, and destroy the son.
66 years.
Or whatever.
But I heard we were fighting like heck. Like they couldn't what you know of as slavery. We didn't allow that to happen for about 50. From what I heard, was 55 years. I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm just saying.
But I'm saying that's around about time frame.
Yeah. So at the end of the day,
out like it takes about that long.
Because we wasn't having it. Like no, we're not doing this.
And that's something I hate about the education system right now when they educate the kids about Haiti, is because they make us seem as if we were complicit.
Yeah.
We would throw ourselves in the ocean. We would kill ourselves in droves. So the people that actually came to the shores, you have to understand the terror that they were in. They were not normal people.
Yeah, after that ride.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I done seen 88 people die today. You know what I mean? Maybe I should, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the sharks was like, yo, you know what? Let's follow that boat. Like,
I think about
they just jumping out.
I think about it now. If a person would try to put me in that sort of insane sort of slavery, I don't think I would want to do it. I think I would rather. I'm out.
But it's
So I get that sort of like mentality.
It's more of. No, I'm not doing that. Why? No. Like, you ever have somebody say something to you where you don't even give them an explanation? Why? No. Your job, your supervisor, I need you to do this. No.
I'm not doing that.
I'm losing my job before I do that.
I don't know why you don't understand.
I'm telling you no. I'm not even going to continue the conversation. I'm going to say no, turn my back, and walk away because it's not happening with me.
So I just wanted to say, like, have you heard the speech that Tamika did?
Mallory?
Yes, Tamika Mallory did on Daniel Cameron when his verdict came out with the Breonna Taylor case.
Mm-hmm.
I thought she did a very beautiful and empowering speech, but I did not like the analogy that she used in order to describe Daniel Cameron.
Okay.
She said that Daniel Cameron was sort of like the blacks, the Africans who participated in,
Slavery.
the slavery
Mhm.
and sold their counterparts to the Europeans.
Mhm.
I think that is a line that far right wingers would use in order to justify the transatlantic slave trade.
Gotcha.
I think what she should have said was Daniel Cameron is like what Malcolm X would say was a house Negro,
Gotcha.
right? That he is the person that is so comfortable
Where he's
in
at.
where he's at.
It ain't
right?
happening to me.
It isn't happening
It
to
ain't
me.
happening to me.
So
I-
they use him in order to perpetuate and instill white supremacy. And I think that would have been a better.
I told
Analogy.
somebody once they picked him, I
Mm.
said it's over. Once they find out who the prosecutor was, I said it's a wrap. We lost.
He's a house Negro. I'm sorry.
He lost because
Yeah.
they chose.
I don't know who the boy is, so
I just knew he was black. I just knew he was
Right.
supposed to be melanated, right?
there's-
So once I heard they gave that job to a black person, and I'm saying black because that's what the masses
He is
will
not
understand. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like the word black,
He's not
from what I'm
black.
hearing, black. We shouldn't say black because we're not black. Black is a color. You're
Right.
a melanated
Also,
person.
okay.
Yeah.
Right.
No, but I'm speaking to the masses, so I got to speak on their level.
Right.
You get what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So as a teacher, if you don't understand something, it's because I'm doing something wrong. I have to figure out a way to make you understand what I'm saying. That's the only reason I'm saying black, y'all. I'm talking about a melanated person. They gave him the job, so when he fell, they say, "What you want me to do? We gave it to
Yeah.
one of y'all.
yeah.
Right.
We
Exactly.
gave it to one of you. He didn't do it. I didn't. The white. I have nothing to do with it. Your man. Talk to your man."
That's what they do. They use
Us.
black people as soldiers in
Mhm.
order to perpetuate and because white people have a lot of fragility, right?
Mhm.
So they need black people in order to use them as soldiers.
Hold on, Lydia. You have to say that word again.
White fragility.
And wait. You got to say it again. Give us a definition and then use it in a sentence. I'm just joking about the sentence, but can you tell people what fragility means?
Is this a killer in the beat?
That's what. Because somebody might learn this word, and then they'll be using it all the time. Man, I'm on a corner. There's all this fragility going on, man.
it's white fragility is when you talk about systematic issues that has a black person you're facing, right?
Mhm.
And you go up to a white person, your friend, and you say, "Hey, like this is happening," and then instead of them understanding that, oh my God, the system is wrong, like
Yeah.
the history is wrong, they get defensive and say, "Oh my God, you're talking to me."
Mhm.
I'm like, it's not about you.
Yeah.
It's not about you as a person.
Yeah.
I'm saying that maybe these ideas, right? These things that we've like thought our entire lives is wrong. And the first thing I think about is the idea of white people adopting black kids.
Yo, I'm gonna say it again. I said it before. I am no longer watching Charlene Theron movies.
What?
Charlene Theron?
I
I don't know what
that
that
is.
is.
Oh, you gotta.
Watching stuff like that.
yeah.
Remember Hancock? You seen the movie
Yeah.
Hancock?
Yeah,
with Will Smith
Oh, I know what you're
superhero?
talking about, yeah.
Remember the white woman in that movie?
Yeah.
This-
It was a white woman in that movie that was his counterpart.
okay.
They both had powers.
Right.
Look her
Okay,
up.
okay, I'm gonna have to look her up.
Charlene Theron.
Okay.
She's adopted a black boy. She's a black with two black kids. She adopted a black boy. He's under 10.
Okay.
And she's in the process of turning him into a girl.
Oh.
I'm no longer watching her
Oh,
movies.
I know.
I don't
heard
watch
about this.
Liam Neeson movies, and I'm not gonna hold you. It's difficult. Like, 'cause a friend of
Well,
mine.
Liam, what do you do?
But remember, a friend of his supposedly got raped by a black person.
Oh yeah, he says something
And he
wild,
said he
right?
was driving around looking for
Yeah, like you said, like 3
person
weeks,
to
like you just looking for
look
an
at a
excuse
black
to beat
person.
the crap out of.
beat up a black person. Like, you know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
yeah.
So,
But didn't he apologize?
Don't
There's
matter.
a-
don't matter.
But
Because
we
they
all-
only
we all feel-
apologize. They only
Say the movie,
apologize.
dog.
You think you will get taken?
And like he was
1,
on-
2, and 3.
And the thing is that like that story was completely unnecessary. Like he was on a talk show, like
He didn't
for no
need
movie.
it.
So then, like all of a sudden, like he comes out with this, the story about his friend. Like I feel sorry for his friend.
This
But
is
like
a
it just came out like
fabricated story that he might have made.
But
up.
this is what I'm saying, right? White people, if you can hear my voice,
Mm.
sometimes
Yes, King.
just shut up. We don't need y'all to chime in.
Even Bill Burr said that.
Like with Drew Brees. Drew Brees, shut up. If you don't know what to say, say nothing. And we're okay with that. So like I said, I don't watch his movies, Charlene Theron. I don't watch her movies. And my biggest thing, I don't have anything about a person changing your sex. If that's what you feel like you want to do, cool. But in my opinion, I can't vote for a president until I'm 18.
Right.
But you telling me I can change what God made me at the age of 6? I can make that big a decision. So that's like me saying...
I actually agree with that. I don't think that kid should be going.
That's like me as a kid saying, you know what? I'm not eating my vegetables no more. I'm only eating cake and ice cream for the rest of my life. And the parents say, okay. If that's what you want. Yeah.
Like,
But I don't think...
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, as a parent, I don't understand the importance of pushing, promoting, or supporting the ideas of a child's sexuality when it's a child.
I agree.
Sexuality should not. It should be later on for when they're older. When a kid is 6, 7, 8, 10, maybe even 12.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's because
you should. I wouldn't.
Gender norms, though. That's the thing. It's like if you are a 6-year-old child, right? You're a boy.
You're supposed to be a boy.
You're a 6-year-old boy, okay? And you're born a male, but everything within you.
I didn't see that. That's the fine line.
But
I said
that's
the parent. The parent,
okay.
Not the child. The parent, because I feel like some people kind of like, in my head, I feel like people are like, well, do you want to do this? Okay, let's do it. It's like the kid's not really thinking about that.
Yeah.
But that's pressure outside.
But that's what I'm saying. It is a case by case thing.
You have to be a girl or boy. Like,
well, is it or is it not? Because if you're just being a human, why? If you're just being a human, if you're just being a kid.
But
our culture is obsessed with gender, though.
I understand. But that's the problem.
What is the kid supposed to do?
But why does it have to be discussed in the household? Why can't the kid just be a kid?
The kid doesn't want to play.
Why can't you just play?
But what about when they go to school, right? And then they have.
Well, like I said, it depends. I'm saying based on my statement was based on the parent pushing the issue. Okay. That's what I'm talking about.
So
if my child comes to me and they're talking to me once, they talk to me twice, and they come at me again, then it's a discussion to be had. We're going to talk about it, and we'll take it from there. But, so I understand the societal pressures and all that.
The societal pressures should not...
You are forced to choose male or female.
Societal pressure should not make it into your home. If your kid is a certain way...
Yes.
I'm not...
I cannot agree with that.
Hold on for a second. This is what I'm not... Listen to what I'm saying. I think I'm going to explain what I meant so I can... So what I'm saying is, yes, you're going to have societal pressures that if he goes to school, all the boys do boy things. He may not want to do that, right? When he comes home and he speaks to his parents will say, you should do what you want to do. I told my son today, do what makes you happy unless it's cutting off cats' heads. Then don't do what makes you happy. If doing something that you love, you do that. I don't care what nobody thinks. You do what you want to do. Same thing with my son. If my son comes home and he wants to do something more effeminate than what everybody thinks, he should do what he wants. If he wants to be in, so I'm only going to say certain things.
That's easier said than done.
No, it is. But being a parent,
if you don't make it a thing, like, well, don't call it. Well, you want to be more like even promoting the concept of them being feminine. Just do the things you want to do. It doesn't have to be because you're doing this and it's not a boy thing.
But it's also like if a
wait, let me finish. Let me finish because it's going to get misunderstood. So I got to say it all the way. If a young boy, young man, whatever, wants to do something that's not what boys generally do. If he wants to sew, it doesn't have to be promoted by either side that's feminine.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's just a task. It's a thing to do. It doesn't have to be, and I think even on the other side of it, with being open about it, people push to be on the other side when they're not even thinking about it like that. And I say this because on my own experience, as a kid, I was a nerdy, egghead kid. I used to cry a lot because I didn't know how to articulate, and I didn't like to hang out with the boys all the time. I was chilling with the girls, they playing double dutch stuff. You know why? Because they were interesting. Y'all, it's corny, y'all weird. I don't want to run around in the dirt right now. I want to chill. They're making food over here.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I want to chill over here. And I know for a fact that a couple of my family members and people around me assumed that I was gay when I was a kid. Oh, and I would overhear sometimes, and I didn't care because
you was having fun.
I wasn't really thinking about that. Number one.
Yeah.
And I thought that was an adult problem because my mom would tell you I had eyes that could cut since I was little. Like I have a certain type of understanding. Yeah. You know what I mean? If somebody says something, my face won't hide it. Like you'll see exactly how I feel. You know what I mean? And it's just funny because it's like I have an older cousin who's a lesbian, and she thought I was gay, and she was like telling me to be myself. I was like,
I am myself.
I am myself. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not really worried about none of that.
Look at that girl's butt. That's myself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I'm still gonna hold the door too and all that, and I'm still like, maybe I'll play football, but I don't like to play football like that. I'll watch the game. So, like I said, I think these things get pushed by either side to be like, oh, well, you're not being a boy. Well, be more like a girl.
Yeah.
No, just be yourself.
Just be yourself.
You don't have to be like a girl or a boy. Just be yourself.
I take it to this example. My son used to play. Like he would play swords. So I had to play. I had to play with him. Like, you know what I'm saying? And we were outside one day. We were sword fighting. Right? We're sword fighting. That's what I'm saying. Jumping off the porch and all that kind of stuff. We're going in.
Yeah.
Couple of the kids from the neighborhood walk up and they're older kids. So, they're about the girls, they're about chilling, stuff like that. So my son's like, hold on, Dad, I got to go in the house. So he goes in the house. I'm like, all right, I'm not thinking about it. He comes back out. They come back from the store and he stops playing again. So the second time that I know, I said, oh, wait a minute. Are you not playing swords? You're not sword fighting because these kids are walking up and you feel like you're going to look like corny because of them? Right. He looked at it. I said, yo, don't you ever do nothing like that again. You do what makes you happy, unless it's cutting off cats' heads. You don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But at the end of the day, you do what makes you happy. And that's what I'm speaking to in the realm of the gender role. Yes, in the world should not be in your home.
Right.
So like I used to
people project it. That's what I feel like people project the whole thing either way. Either you better not ever do that, or why aren't you doing this?
I've listened to rap music my entire life. I'm talking about gangster rap. I've listened to, in the songs I've listened to, I've heard about almost 200 deaths, 200 murders. I've never murdered anybody because I knew that was not inside. That was outside stuff. That wasn't reality. Like with my son, I'm trying to teach him, all that stuff is not reality. You can't, when you have a good foundation, that foundation is going to leak through over everything.
You're going to come back to it.
You know what I'm saying? So like I said, when it comes to like Charlene Theron, when she changed the little boy to a little girl, I tend to think about, he's under 10.
Okay.
He's under 10.
Yeah, so that's too much. Why are you putting? And that's adding. That's what I mean. That's
I'm not saying I agree with.
So
I'm not saying that. I'm just. I
speak about Dwayne Wade.
I don't think you should put little kids in homework.
I speak about not Dwayne Wade. His son is doing the same thing. To me, that's okay because I have belief that Dwayne Wade loves his child.
Right.
Because that's his
child.
But
if that's what that kid wants to do, it's like, talk about it. You know what I mean?
But that's what I'm saying.
Not challenge it, but actually talk about it. You know what I mean?
Just because you love to do something that people see as a different gender role doesn't mean you like that gender. I like baking cookies. Why can't I bake a cookie? Chefs are male and female. I like sewing dresses. Fashion designers are male and female.
But the thing about it is, the reason we have these strict gender roles is because
we don't control the narrative.
No, not even that. Think about it in basic terms. If you create society and everyone has their place, right? Everyone knows what they're supposed to do. It makes society be able to function at a higher precision, right? When you divide society in a hierarchy like that, you are able to create things that would never be able, like America, for instance. If we didn't have a strict gender role right now, right? How could we be able to reach the greatness that we are right now? And I think that goes into play with this obsession with gender roles. Because if something doesn't fit within the paradigm of society, then we like malfunction. We're like, oh my God.
Some gender roles were created by God. Some gender roles were created by man. I think the gender roles created by
nature versus
the gender role created by the higher power is the one we got to follow, right? We're getting close to not following it,
right? But how do you know that is the true role?
Because nature.
It's
pretty much nature.
We have first of all, the thing that everybody forgets is that sex is for reproduction.
You could
strictly reproduction. We're one of the few mammals on Earth that actually experience like some type of pleasure from engaging in sex.
I think gender roles are based off of culture. I don't think that's something that's natural in us.
I mean, I'm
Because
talking
you can
about.
find
I don't know. The
cultures-
parts is made to
You
fit.
can
I
find-
mean,
you can find
the parts is
cultures-
made to fit. You know what I'm
Perfection.
saying?
Remember that game? We had to put the parts in the right
Like,
spot.
you have
before
a
it
man.
exploded?
A man has parts. A woman has parts, and that is for everything that
Reproduction.
happens is for the sake, the way the dudes buying cars and all that. Even though they say they don't want a kid, you're doing that to have sex, which is for having children.
Mhm.
That is the sole purpose of sex. And God made it feel good, or whatever you want to call it, the universe, so we would do it, so we would make more of us.
And what you're
So-
saying, Lady O, is definitely great. I am not being contradictory to what you're saying. I agree with you because in ancient Kemet, women were kings.
Mhm.
The word king doesn't mean a male ruler or a
Yeah.
female ruler. In ancient Kemet, king meant king. You were the ruler. Whether you were male or female, you had the same power. So when you say it is culture, yes, because you got some cultures across the world that women are almost slaves. You know what I'm saying? Almost slaves. But that wasn't our culture. A lot of this culture is forced upon us.
Mhm.
Depending on who you feel you are and where you come from, that's what you got to find out. You got to figure out. Like a lot of people feel like their lineage starts at slavery, which is laughable because
But I feel like that's
yeah,
what they
that's
want us
gotta
to
be-
do.
that's what they want us to be.
That's the
So
idea.
Killer Mike has a song, if you ever get a chance, called "Good Morning." It's
Yo,
Killer
I've been
Mike.
playing that joint every day on the station.
Yeah.
Okay.
Killer Mike,
He killed
Black
that
Thought,
verse.
and he killed. He spoke. He was God in that verse. You know what I'm saying? He said we were building empires for long before these people came out.
Absolutely.
You get what I'm saying?
Well,
So
we have the
we're
mother race.
so we're adopting their cultural rules because in thinking about it to me logically,
Mhm.
they came from a place where competition was necessary. You had to be the strongest to live. You get what I'm saying?
My whole thing is
What
why
about the Christianity
is sex
Which is
important
different.
though? Like why? That's my main
Because
thing out of
it keeps us
anything
in
I say
hierarchy.
tonight.
When you say sex, you mean gender roles, or you mean like having
Like everything about it, gender roles, sex. Like sex is a very powerful thing in any way that you think about it. And why is it?
Because it's life.
Why is it the fact that a man could want a woman or a man and I will piss somebody off? Why is it the fact that kind of now, I guess I'll discuss, I'm having a hetero privilege moment. It's like, well, why am I outcast because I'm not gay?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't treat
Because-
me weird
It's
because...
just now because of identity
Because
politics.
Like she was asking me the other day, she was like, you wouldn't go to a drag show? I was like, no, just like I wouldn't go
No,
to
I
a
don't
country,
like it.
country music
I don't like country
concert.
music.
Because I don't like
I'm not
country
country.
music.
I'm not
I don't like-
countryist.
That doesn't mean... Yeah, that mean...
I'm not country phobic. I just don't like that kind of stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Like I said, that's the issue that we have right now.
But
This is
why-
the far right have so much power. It's because our society is changing so drastically.
Yes.
But
Right?
I
I
said
want
that
to go
last
back. Like, why is sex so heavy? Why does
Because we're
like
animals.
talk shows, stuff like that, like on, you know what I mean?
Because
They,
we're animals.
who's sleeping with who?
Of course,
The
that's
Cardi B
interesting.
and Offset. Everybody was like, why is
She
that?
said it.
and
Look
she-
at it. Look
she
at the
said it.
cat.
We're
All they-
animals.
All
No, but
they
I
want
think-
to do is like have sex.
But even people want
Sleep
to know,
Sleep
like,
and eat.
why do people want to know when they talking about, you know, divorces, tabloids? Why do
Because
people want to know what somebody's
We're
doing
attracted to
so
that.
bad? Why?
We're
I
attracted
don't
to-
understand
because
it.
of gossip. Because we're human.
And this is what the pressure thing comes from with the kids and all. It's like, why is everybody else concerned about what the kid wants to do except for the kid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The kids want to play like,
Yeah, like, well,
I mean, if I gotta play in the dress, I'll play in the dress.
Yeah.
I just want to run up and down the street.
I don't. I
But it's when they
think. I
step
think.
outside the home.
I think. And
that's
that's just like what
that's
you're saying,
home.
like society and all
because
that.
society is evil. Kids
Home.
are evil.
But it's like a big
Kids
projection.
are
It's
Oh goodness, kids are evil.
Ooh, you gonna get
Kids, and I'm
the
saying that
kids are
because
gonna call her like, I'm not evil.
I know because kids do not understand the power of their words and how they
you know,
are
kids are saying some
shaping
wild stuff.
They're
each other's
truthful.
perspective.
Children are truthful. I had a kid tell me my breath stink the other day. I was
Yeah,
like,
but think about when they're together
Yeah.
though. When kids are together, they don't understand how words are affecting one another, or they don't understand that when you say something to someone, they can keep that for the rest of their life,
Mhm.
right? They don't understand the power that they have. And when I was a kid, I was bullied unmercilessly, okay? And I know the terror of being an outcast, like the black sheep, not being able to fit in. And I think this is why parents take that extreme level at times, is because they want their child to feel to feel comfortable, to feel like they have
So,
a place in this society.
I don't
Okay.
think I
Which
don't
I don't know if I would do, but
I don't think
Play devil's
anybody
advocate.
is inherently one thing or the other. I think we tend to forget that a child mirrors his parents more than we even know. Like if me and you are pretty much the same complexion, I might be darker than you, but that's not a thing to me because, like I tell people all the time, the original man was my complexion or darker. I'm not stressing it.
I don't worry about it.
My voice was a little harsh.
Yeah, like
You're
so.
right.
So I
Because
dealt
he's
with them.
ignorant.
I did this. There you
That's
go.
a better word.
I was teased the same way, and I didn't have someone to tell me they don't understand what they're doing because their parents are like, "Oh, I got a light skinned son, and a dark skinned son. The light skinned son is intrinsically.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I just
You're
used
right.
that word.
Hey.
Intrinsically treated different than the dark skinned brother. So you feel that, and then you take that out into the world.
Right.
America's version of beauty, or the world's version of beauty, is more Caucasoid or more fair skinned,
Has European features.
more European features
Right.
than dark skin features. So for me, I can have women like there's women who look like me, who are dark as me. Like now, there's women who have the same issues as Kodak Black and what's his name?
Where they don't want
a dark skinned man.
Yeah.
They want a man with nice hair. Even the words we use, even the spelling.
Nice hair.
Exactly.
Even the words
I
we
still
can't.
correct my mom with that.
I told Shay one day. I was actively in courting a woman, and she has Afrocentric hair. I am no longer dealing with any woman whose hair is not natural. You get what I'm saying? Because that's where it starts.
Right.
It starts there.
Can I just say I never had a perm in my life?
If you can't love what you
said it all smooth.
what you have naturally, and Shay was like, she kind of took offense. She was like, "What's wrong with mine?" I said, "No, that's your natural hair.
Right.
You're Puerto Rican. Your hair naturally is like that. I can't be mad at that. But I'm talking about you got a black woman who gets up, spend 2.5 hours perming their hair just so it can be straight and European like, just so they can get by in life. That's already a loss. Mentally, you feel like you're not good enough because if you felt like you were good enough, I'm not saying go outside with no hair upkeep, but you were not going to be like, all right, I'm done. You know what I'm saying? This is how my hair is supposed to look. And I love.
It's not the woman's fault though.
No. It's
I had this vision of Malcolm X and Brother Baines of Let It
Burn. I had a vision of Farrakhan, like,
you know what it is?
A woman needs to have
putting all that mess on you.
The problem.
Stop it, though, Jerry.
The problem is to destroy the black man, you must destroy the black
woman. But we talked about that, right? Yeah.
So when you have like, I'm not going to hold you. The lower self loves WAP.
Yeah,
I love that song. I love what women do when they listen to
the
that
carnal
song.
side.
You know what I'm saying? The animal in me enjoys it immensely, but the higher self is like, nah.
That's
I
not
wouldn't want
right.
that for my daughter.
No,
I wouldn't want it for my daughter. And my daughter is one of those women who have straight hair. You know what I'm saying? She's dressed because she's 22. She does what she wants. You know what I'm saying? But she has those kind of features. She's the type of woman that I necessarily wouldn't want to rock with.
I think with WAP, it's interesting.
I love her to death.
Right, go ahead.
But I want her to understand it's so much easier being you than it is to be somebody else.
Yeah.
It takes you 10 hours to do your hair because you're not doing it the way it should be.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Takes away from lifetime.
Yep.
Well,
Lifetime, like,
do my braids, but
well, that's okay. Still, they look good.
Thank you.
So I'm sorry, you were saying?
No, I think WAP is interesting because I think that's just women, and like you said, in this patriarchal system that's trying to reclaim some of their power. More like they are making money off of their sexuality. And I know that I agree that it is dirty, it's raunchy, right? However, like I always say, we're all animals. We all think these things, okay? We all want to do these things. But also, my question is, you have to think about society right now. If you are a poor woman of color and you're absolutely gorgeous, so you decide that you are going to use your sexuality in order to give a better life to yourself, right? You don't have to work long hours, right? You're able to feed yourself and your family. You're able to put yourself in a different level, right? a socio-economic level in life
Got you.
by using your sexuality. Why is that a bad thing? It almost seems like people are afraid when a woman decides that, you know what, I'm going to use this in order to better myself in a material sort of thing. Now, I'm not saying I agree with it, but sometimes I think that if a woman understands that this is just purely work, and this is not, and then she doesn't confuse like her job with how she views her, like herself in society, or how she views men, that you can monopolize off it. Because sometimes you need a little push to get off of poverty, because we're living in a very crazy world.
I say this: you are what you eat, and most people think that's what you put in your mouth. There's also what you put in your mouth. So if you're whopping every day of the week for a year straight, you're gonna become more whoppish. You get what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, yes, you can transmute that negative to a positive. I can understand that. You can take something negative, flip it around and make it positive. I can understand the alchemy in it, right? But like I said, the way your mind works, I was told that your mind doesn't know when you're joking. So watch what you say to yourself, right? Because your mind is taking in like, okay, you be like, I'm not funny. And if you say it enough, your mind is like, dang, I guess we ain't funny. You get what I'm saying? So if I'm whopping all day, my mind is gonna start saying I'm a whop. This is what I do. This is how I live. Like, you got the City Girls, you got Megan Thee Stallion, and please, if you ever hear what I'm saying, Megan or City Girls, I don't want to stop your money. I want you to get your money. I want you to eat. I want you to eat to the level that you should be eating. Once again, though, you are what you eat. When you play that stuff back over and over and over again, you become fixated with it. Also, when it comes to that, we got to think about the masses. You're not just eating the food yourself. You're feeding.
Yeah.
You're feeding these people.
You know what I'm saying? When I started doing my rap thing, you know what I'm saying? I didn't really care. I was laid off. I was like, I'm gonna try this out, and I wrote a couple songs, and I didn't want to curse like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A couple N-bombs in there.
Yeah.
And when I got on stage and I said it, I looked at all the white people out there, and I was like, I'm giving them a pass to say it.
They want to say it too.
I can't do that. I can't do that. And then when I started doing that, I became more aware, and like everything is kind of like, when I do my music, every word is intentional.
Yes.
Sound and words, use of the word, everything's intentional. Even more so at that point. So it's like, I look at it like, in my life, because 40 now, I don't want to do anything in my life that I can't tell my granddaughter.
Yes.
So when everybody talks about like, yeah, do you, but you think about right now.
Yeah.
What about the rest of your life, what you want to do? Now, people talk about different things and you got to do this and that. Like, you want to be a sex worker? Cool.
Yeah.
But think about what you want to do. If you're cool with that, if you're cool with telling your grandkids that, or if you don't want to know, if you're cool with whatever, that's fine. But me personally, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to promote that to my kids and my family to do that. You know what I'm saying? But do you. But because I think that no matter what, women and men will trash a woman for doing that type of stuff.
Yes.
A woman will be faster to kick another woman's back in for being sexual. So at the same time, it ain't just us men that are doing that. Women be like, look at that, trashy, blah, 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 blah.
I can from the men, but that's just me.
But then we go back to what we were saying earlier about the true essence of a woman. So is that your purpose?
Yeah.
Is that your purpose, to be whopping and OnlyFans and all that? Is that what you're here on this earth for?
If.
Well, I mean,
I don't know.
You could be here on this earth to create a man's fantasy. There's some women that just like they have movies, right?
All men or a man? Or one?
Look,
I don't know.
I don't know. If using it has a means to
I got
money,
food for thought. That's all I got. I have no answers, ladies and gentlemen. I have no answers.
As a woman,
you don't think.
I would not do that. It is not something that that I could see myself doing.
A woman loses no matter.
But for me, if a woman decides to do that, then there are some women out there that their job is to create a fantasy for men and women. Okay, they take on the aesthetic because that's what they want to do.
But I'm saying
Just
women
like-
get more ridicule. If a man did that, he could shake it off. If a woman does it, she's stuck
Well,
with
that's
that, and
just
people are going to
society.
criticize her for the
Men-
rest of her life. And that's what I mean. Like, it's not something I'm saying is a rule. It's just something that I've seen, and I think it's unfair. Like, well, women talk about being liberal, but then you'll never let the thing go if a woman slept with a dude you liked or was acting crazy at a party. You'll bring that up every time you see that woman. And this is what I see women doing this, not dudes.
Women,
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, where's I don't, you know,
divide and conquer. But
men find women sexually attractive in a burqa. It don't matter what you got. You ain't got to be undressed. You can be sexually attractive with fully clothed.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? You can be sexually attracted by talk. You don't have to be. And once again, when you're attracting, who and what are you attractive to? So if you're half naked, like I love half naked women. Once again, that's my lower self speaking. I'd rather have a woman fully clothed that you can have a conversation with than a woman half naked.
yeah, that would be your woman, and then.
well, you know, you can't
When
keep
you
the half
reach that,
naked
like,
one.
yeah.
She ain't gonna last but
No.
a couple months, and then you
Yeah.
gotta get rid.
But then there's women out there that are half naked because that's their profession.
Yeah.
And like there's two separate things. There's two separate lifestyles in my
Yeah.
opinion.
No, I mean what I'm saying is that's cool, but just like with gangster rap, the half naked woman gets pushed out further than the half naked woman and the gangster killer rapper will get more airplay and more followers
Right.
and more listeners.
Because we keep it at a lower frequency.
Yes,
I
we're
agree
keeping
with
it at a
that.
lower frequency.
That's
People
why I would
understand
never talk about that sort
Yeah.
of things in my poetry.
Yeah.
I'm a spoken word artist.
Oh no, I've heard some freaky spoken. I've heard some freaky spoken words.
Ever talk about
Touch me
that.
in the middle of my universe,
rid.
make my stars
No.
explode. I've heard that. Listen, I've
For me, it's
I've heard it, and I've seen women say to me like.
Yeah, they have erotic spoken
they got
word.
erotic-
Yeah.
But
And
what I'm
there's a time and place for that.
even with that, that's more sensual than getting butt
You're-
naked because it's more of your mind.
Mm.
You're imagining something.
Yeah.
You're using your mind. You're opening my mind
Are
up.
we a little lazy maybe? Did
Oh.
we get a little lazy?
Yeah.
Yes, we have because technology is meant to make you lazy.
Right.
We used to have to walk big boulders from one street to the next. Now we got wheels. And you can put the boulder on the wheels and push it. Like technology is a good thing, but it will make you lazier.
It's a tool.
To me, the technology that we're using today
Mhm.
is to make our counterparts, the people who are not highly melanated, on our level. So our melanin, we're connected, right?
Right.
I could be thinking about one of y'all, and one of y'all will call me like, "Yo, what's up, man?" I'm like, "Yo, I was just
Yeah.
thinking about you."
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right? Cell phones, we didn't need cell phones to communicate with each other. They need cell phone communication because they can't tap into their melanin.
Right.
Everything they're using, like computers, internet and stuff like that, we had that here. We have that here. It's turned off. That switch is turned off.
Encrusted pineal glands, my brother. You
So-
gotta start eating the right fruits.
So that's what I'm saying. So with that being said, I think that is used to make it's like guns. You can't beat me with your hands, so you got to shoot me.
Yeah.
They're going to use
It's-
they're using technology to catch up to where we are.
But they've always been using technology.
Yeah. Oh, we were using it first.
Guns, germs, and steel.
Yeah.
That's why the Europeans were able to conquer the Americas
Yeah.
and all of the Caribbeans, right?
Also,
Because they came with their technology.
but I also think people didn't. So right now they say we have a trust. America has a trust with the Native Americans. Basically, America doesn't own America. They're just watching over it for the Native
Oh,
Americans.
really?
And supposedly, when the Native Americans want it back, they're supposed to give it back.
Oh, okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
But-
funny.
But that's what the laws are.
That's
It's
so
just
funny.
it's just a trust. If you read, I'm not sure if the Constitution or whatever, but it says we Americans as a trust. That's all it is. So at the end of the day, they use law as a weapon.
And they use Christianity
Mm-hmm.
because if you
It's all.
go ahead.
No, it's just weird because like we don't celebrate Amerigo Vespucci.
Yeah, at all.
No.
At all. And it's
If
named
you
after
don't
him.
know, that's the dude who the three continents are named after: North America, South America, Central America.
Yeah.
They know America. And
Mhm.
well, you got American Street.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But that's like you
Also,
know.
can we just say that they didn't discover America because there were people already living there.
You can't discover
Okay.
something.
Amerigo Vespucci discovered America already. That's why it was called America.
Well, even with
And
that,
then Christopher Columbus came through after Amerigo Vespucci, but nobody gives props to the Italian boy. Like,
Because
On
he
the
used the indoctrination of discovery,
Mhm.
where it was like the paper.
Oh no, I get that, but it's
Right.
still called America. It's not the United States of Columbus.
No,
it's the
yeah,
United
definitely.
States of America. So it's just confusing to me.
It's just a
With
slide,
that,
right?
even with that, we have been circumnavigating the world before they were.
Yes, you're right.
Before they came out of caves. We've been to South
Yeah, the war
America.
occurrence between South America and Africa naturally going to 360 like clockwise motion.
So they don't understand, like,
it's actually harder to sail from North America, from Europe to North America, as the currents go towards Europe.
so at the
It's
end of the,
easier to go between South America and Africa.
at the end of the
Yeah.
day, once again, they don't let us know that because they don't want to let us know where our power
Yeah,
lies.
the
Like,
Africans were traveling for a long time.
if you go to the Olmec people and you see those big heads with the big nose and the big
Right.
lips and stuff like that,
I love my cousin.
yeah, that's Mike right there. But that's what I'm saying. So once again, that's all predicated to keep you not knowing. Once again, like I said, I know a lot of people who will go back to slavery is where we started, and that's not where we started. And
That
that's
is
the biggest issue is you need to find out where you start, because once you finish, even with slavery, I said this, and I hope this doesn't rub anybody the wrong way.
It's okay if it
And
does.
I'm not saying it to negate what happened during slavery.
Okay.
What I'm saying is we were enslaved for, let's say, 500 years. I'm gonna up it. Let's say 1,000 years, right? Let's say we were enslaved for 1,000 years, right? In the grand scheme of the world, that's a drop in the bucket.
Drop.
Yeah.
It's a drop in the bucket. It's more important to us now because we're still living with the ramifications of it.
We fresh off of it
That's what I'm
still.
saying.
We're only like
slavery.
That's what I'm saying.
Like this, we're still.
we're only a generation and a
Away
half
from it,
removed
yeah.
from total freedom.
It's like people now will say, I've heard people say that President Trump was the worst president ever, and I'm like, okay, what about the ones who literally own slaves? Like, you know,
Yeah, there was one dude.
was it
What was it? Aaron Burr. He was vice president. He had a duel in office and killed. Aaron Burr was the vice president, had a duel and killed somebody. When he was in office.
And that's what I'm saying.
He was the second vice president.
I know
think.
Trump. I'm not saying I'm riding with Trump. Like I said this on Facebook the other day. I said, when I say F Trump, that doesn't mean I'm riding with Biden. F Biden too. Like I don't rock with neither one of them dudes.
I hope
Either one of them.
Fascism.
I'm not impressed.
Yeah, neither one of them.
I haven't been impressed in years.
Yeah, neither one of them.
For me, I think Trump is a fascist.
Mm-hmm.
Trumpism is the new term. Actually, what I should say is Trumpism is American fascism.
Okay.
Trumpism is equal to Nazism. Okay. Because when you look at the themes of fascism, Trump is everything of that. And he's not just by himself. He has an administration.
I don't even
And
like
he has
saying
a
the
group
name, man.
of people. Well, we need to say his name because people need to wake up. Because we need to understand that Trumpism is fascism. And we need to, if it looks like a duck and walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's
It calls
duck.
you
They call it fascism.
It is
I think calling it
fascism.
Trumpism is giving him like a platform.
But I try
that's
to
too
tell
much
people that
credit,
Trump
'cause
is Hitler, and they're like, huh? People get offended by it. They say, that's just like the far left rhetoric.
Yeah.
But if you look at his policies and exactly what he's doing, and even his rhetoric, that is what fascism is. Because like I said before, when a lot of liberal change is happening, right? Obama, we have a first black president, the Me Too movement, BLM, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of change that's happening. The people who are the minority, right, are going to be adverse to this change. So there's going to be a reactionary movement that happens. It happens in all societies.
Yeah.
And this movement is fascism and it's Trumpism. Because people right now, the white people, the racist white supremacists, the people who are actually in power are afraid, right? So now they're turning into the lower classes in order to galvanize them to make an army so that we can create more division.
Well, they've been doing that pretty much.
I'm about to say that ain't. I don't feel like that's
but
new. They've been doing that for the last couple of hundred years.
To me, the good
It's just
thing
a new wave of the push of the propaganda.
Right.
Trump
explain
gives
it.
those. I love that. That's the part I want to get to. Trump makes those people who were in the shadows come out the shadows. Like, I believe in Trump. I believe everything Trump says. Now I know who you are.
Right.
You can never hide that. You can't hide. You can't now. Instead of throwing a rock and hiding your hand, I know who threw the rock.
Right.
I like that more. I would rather someone be open and honest with me so I know where I stand. And as a people, once we understand America does not want us.
Well, 40% of America is white supremacists, in my
Mhm.
opinion, because 40% of Americans will vote for Donald Trump no
Mhm.
matter what.
Gotcha.
That's scary,
Mm-hmm.
kind of, because these 40% of people are also highly weaponized,
Yeah.
right? So the 60% of people who are like encouraging and who are happy for the fact that America is becoming more of like a brown nation. But what do we do with those people who are uneducated and who are upset that they feel like their needs
Are not being met.
are not being met? So now they have their savior,
Mhm.
their God, Trump, who is the embodiment of the rot of American culture, right? Trump is a xenophobe, he's racist, he is a fake rich man, right?
Mhm.
He's everything that's awful about America.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's not the reason that America is bad. He's just a symptom.
Yeah.
This thing has been, like you said, it's been going on for years and years.
So what they're tricking white people to believe is they're tricking the white people without power
Mm.
that their lack of power comes from other groups of people.
Mm.
Also,
Immigrants.
immigrants, stuff of that nature.
Mhm.
So when you're mad because you can't get a job, I don't see white people trying to mow nobody's lawn or do yard work.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when it comes down to
Right.
it, white people without power, I'm talking about the white people like the people that are walking around with tiki torches and
Right.
wearing
The Proud Boys.
the Proud Boys,
Right.
the Ku Klux
The
Klans,
Boogaloo movement.
the dudes in the backwoods of Pennsylvania, stuff like that. All they are supervisors. You ever seen a supervisor at work talk to you like he owns the company? Oh man, you're slacking off there, man. I don't want to fire you. You can't fire me.
Yeah.
I'm fired by somebody above you. You do the firing,
Yeah.
but it wasn't your decision. You have no real power.
Right.
And that's the power that they're playing. Once again, the Honorable Martin Luther King was not murdered because he wanted equality.
Mm.
He was murdered because he was like, yo, this ain't right for none of us.
So he wanted economic.
He wanted economic power.
That's the
And
thing.
the people with economic power, they don't care whether you're white, black, Puerto Rican, or Haitian.
Yeah.
You're not getting none of their power.
Right.
You're never going to be in leagues with the Rothschilds or the
Oh,
I don't know all the
Bezos.
Like, could
Carnegie,
you? Donald Trump talks about how much money he has.
which is all.
He was given a $1 million loan.
Yeah.
Do you imagine? That's like if my dad has a company that makes $10 million, right? He dies, I take over the country, and I make the company. After I get the company for like 4 years, our profit is now $10,100,000. That's not work.
Yeah.
That's
He was
a
making $750,000 a year when he was like 3.
That's what I'm
He always in
saying.
the trust. So
Jeff Bezos. Imagine what I could invent. To me, Black Americans that were enslaved are the greatest group of people that have existed in all time. We have created more in this short amount of time than has been created throughout history.
Innovative.
Right? Innovative.
Yeah.
And like
have a choice.
we talk about stuff like the cotton gin, right? Why would a white man create the cotton gin? He doesn't need it. He got people picking his cotton.
Yeah.
Him getting more efficient ways to get cotton done so it's less hurtful to the people doing it. Why? It doesn't matter to
I
him.
thought the cotton gin was created after slavery, so like they needed to have like it's not what that's what happened, because they couldn't use black bodies. So in order to create a profit,
learning something new today.
in order to create a profit, they would have to.
I thought it was created during slavery.
It's
look up the
look it up.
cotton gin.
Pretty sure it's post-slavery. Pretty sure it's post-slavery.
And that's
Well,
why
some
you
stuff I will say with the Industrial Revolution, I believe that some of them cats was like, yo, this is cheaper.
Yeah.
Just like they say they get a robot to replace people's jobs now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you got the liability in time. Like if you're not feeding your slave and your slave dies, now you got to take a day out.
Get
The other slaves are going to be messed up. They ain't going to be as efficient because they just lost somebody that they care about, even though you don't look at them like a human.
Right.
These quote-unquote subhumans that you're talking about are still not going to produce on the same level because they're traumatized.
Imagine 300 to 400 years from now, after they got all these robots to do this work, and then the robots are tired of working, and they're tired of being like, No, you know what I'm saying? 101 001 101 Hey, listen.
No, that's real though.
We got about 10 minutes left. Once again, when I say enjoy conversation, I truly mean it. I'm not mincing words. I'm not saying something that I don't believe. This is one heck of a show. I wish Shay was able to call in. Mamas, you are in our hearts and our minds. Not like something's wrong. You're out there having fun. But we want you to know we're thinking about you. With our last 10 minutes, we want to make sure the listeners can follow you. When do they listen to the show? Give them all the information. If you got something else other than the show coming up, let them know about that so they know. Okay. This is something. Listen.
Because we were just talking. We didn't get into.
Listen, it was so organic. It felt like actually. So how do you feel about sneakers? Like, I felt like that would have messed it up. So yeah, Chief, let them know who you are, where they can follow you, and all that kind of stuff.
All right, my name is Teef, affectionately known as Teef, Latifius Maximus III. I am a host on Tall Talk, a host with the Villain and Lady O. We're on Wednesdays from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. I am also new title Operations Manager
for
WJYN Uptown Radio.
Good change.
I'm also very loyal to the Uptown Theater itself. I'll be all in that thing, trying to make sure I get everything to where I can get it to.
You already know.
I'm an MC, Real Teef03 on Twitter, and I'm never on Twitter, but Instagram. Hip hop. If you look up Teef Hip Hop on purpose, you will find my music. If you like that real, you know what I mean. I'm 40, so that's what that means. And I think that's enough right there.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? All about music, telling people good things. I was doing a lot of community civic clothes drives and stuff like that with the parties and things like that.
Yeah.
Shout out to Big Cuz, shout out to my man Rod D, my boy Nate. A lot of people I've worked with, I just like to be involved. I am a maintenance man of sorts and a fire starter also.
Yeah.
I like to keep things going. I like to get things started, and I like to keep things going. And don't waste my time. If you calling me, like, shout out to Brendan Brigham. He said you should never have talked to anybody longer than 3 minutes.
Yeah.
In 3 minutes, you should say everything you have to say to somebody. There's no reason. And 3 minutes is a long time.
Yeah.
I was on a wrestling team. Them rounds is 2 minutes. 2 minutes is a long time when you got somebody.
I would say, what about a therapist though? Because you feel cheated if you got a 3 minute phone conversation.
Yeah. All right, that's it.
$200 for 3 minutes. Like, come on, man. No.
Lady O, would you like to talk about where they can
give me your information?
Yeah,
and what you got coming up? We know you got Talk coming up, but what else you got coming up?
Okay, so you guys, I have to say that I am new to the social media thing. So the best place to contact me or to see my contact is on Instagram, which is _OG_LadyO_. And I'm currently working on open mic / dance party event that's happening at Independence Mall, October 6th, Tuesday. The tentative time is from 6 to 9, but that might change. And it's right next to the Liberty Bell. So we are gathering in order to just inspire the community. I want to create a space where artists can come and talk about, to share their art. And just to, remind people that although the world seems like it's falling apart, and it does seem like maybe the American empire might be heading to the end, but we still have each other. We still have this community, and there is hope.
If we tap into that community, so what was another podcast I listened to? Because I never like to steal somebody else's information. That's what I'll say, either where I got it from.
Citing your works.
Citing my works. His name is Zoe Williams, and he was talking about Hoover. Hoover was actively looking for the Black Messiah.
Yeah.
He was looking for the Black Messiah. The issue is the Black Messiah is not one person, it's the Black community.
Yes.
Once we come together, we work together.
Kendrick said it on the album.
Yeah,
his cousin.
Once we come together, nothing. And listen to what I'm saying, yo. Nothing can stop us. Once we come together, once we put our BS light skin, dark skin.
It's like you said, once
No
you get to your
identity
purpose,
politics.
when you said earlier, if you get to your purpose, a lot of things that you think important, you'll realize aren't important at all.
Art.
And I'm saying this because y'all know me. I do a lot. I do a lot because I want to do a lot, and something's driving me to do a lot, and I really don't know how to stop. But I know the things I'm doing are for good. I'm not trying to stunt on nobody doing what I'm doing. I'm not doing it for myself. You know what I'm saying? I do play my music from time to time.
That's yours.
Every day.
You know what I'm saying? You got to.
I earned that. I feel like that takes up. But nah, man, I learned that even just I started doing this welding thing with my homie. You know what I'm saying? We got a space, and I started busting out work, and I was getting on Facebook, and I was like, yo, I don't have no time for this.
Yeah.
I got stuff to do, and I'm looking what other people are doing. It's like, yo, and I was doing it. I was doing it too. And now that I'm really doing something, and I'm really actually busy, I'm really generating some bread. It's like all that stuff that everybody's venting about.
Yeah.
Half the stuff that we think is wrong or important,
it's not.
It don't matter. It really don't when you think about it. Am I eating? Is my heat on?
Yep.
Are my kids okay? You know what I'm saying? All that stuff is what matters. And when we tap into ourselves and start focusing on what matters, then we'll stop wasting our time. Like you were saying, everything else is harder because we're not doing the things that we're really supposed to be doing. Because I be looking at it like, I don't know how I be doing. Yo, dog, I really don't know how. Like, y'all be like, yo, you listening? Yeah, I heard. I don't know. I just be on autopilot.
Yeah.
I get up, I go to work, I get out of work, do my welding thing. I'll be at the station, back to the shop. I'll be doing somebody's brakes, moving somebody's house, all this. I don't know how I do it. I just know that I'm tapped in. I pray. I say, keep me safe, keep me focused, and I pray that I don't do things I don't need to do.
Yeah.
I ask for that all the time, that I'm not doing things that I don't need to do. I'm not in places I don't need to be at. Because 9 times out of 10, that's when the most messed up things happen to you. When you don't listen to your gut, and something tells you to go home and you don't.
Yes.
When something tells you don't go, I know you want to go to that store. It sounds so stupid. Don't go to Dunkin' Donuts right now, whatever you do. Because I feel like those little things can offset where you're supposed to end up at.
Yeah.
Well, you went to Dunkin' Donuts.
It's a choice.
Because it don't just got to be, vices and things like that. Just don't got to be like cigarettes or alcohol or something like that. It could be just something that you like too much.
Yeah.
Why are you going to McDonald's every day? You're not feeding your body right, therefore you're not thinking right, therefore you're not making good decisions to have you in a place where you need to be.
Convenience.
And it sounds deep and crazy, but it's very simple at the same time. Drink water. Stop drinking soda all day.
Right.
Oh, for real? All I drink is water and alcohol. I don't drink soda. I don't even drink juice no more.
We got to get 5 minutes. Before we go, I definitely got to say, if you enjoyed what you heard tonight, thank you for tuning in to Uptown Radio, WJYN 98.5. Do not forget, shout out to Big Cuz. They have date night coming up.
Yes.
I believe they are on location at the Attic.
Yes.
I can't go.
Like tonight?
I heard about that.
Oh, wait. I think Lady O might be able to drop a little.
Yeah. You all should go. It's at the Attic. It's a great spot. They have a lot of good food and stuff like that. But I can't go tonight. So that's okay. It's okay. Yeah, you just post it on the gram, and I'll be like, yeah, but I can't be. No, I'm just playing. No, but listen, we appreciate you guys for tuning in. Once again, shout out to Shay, who is on Chillcation. She's enjoying herself out there in Vegas, and once again, everything that happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, unless you get an STD, then that comes back with you. Once again, thank y'all for coming. Thank you, Tall Talk, for coming in.
Thank you for having us.
You know what I'm saying? Thank y'all I'm thanking both of y'all together because you guys are an entity. And I want to thank y'all for bringing your entity to the LOL show.
Yeah, definitely. It's not a me thing with the show. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So,
shout out to Chris. You got Running Back Sports Radio show every Tuesday.
He'll be on. He's our 3rd guest in October. So I
want to commend you for finding topics like good content while there are no sports going on.
Yeah, man. Well, the thing about the sports world, there's always something to talk about, even when there's nothing going on. And honestly, though, shout out to a lot of NBA players and NFL players, using their platforms now to talk about social issues. Like LeBron James, Jaylen Brown, Doc Rivers, who's now the new Sixers head coach.
Okay.
And the NFL, even though to me it's still a little pandering, but putting more emphasis. Yeah, but still putting more emphasis, and
it helps.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, once again, this is the LOL show, and I'm going to get off this radio saying